Which is the biggest asset that you own? Welcome to Subramani. And when I asked this question in a batch of say 22-year-olds and 23-year-olds, they have no answer. Their answer is largely like, I have not saved much, I have 5,000 lying in the bank account, some 25,000 in ELSS which I had done, or something like that. And then I told them, I have to tell them rather, I tell them the biggest asset a 22-year-old has or a 25-year-old has is the NPV, net present value of the earnings that they are going to have over the next 30, 40 years. Imagine if by some magic your youth could be bought by an old man. I'm sure Buffett will be willing to give you all his money and saying, exchange your life with me. Here, become a 90-year-old and I will become a 22-year-old, right? People have heard Yayati's story. If you have not, please go and read. So this is the story of how people would happily buy your youth and give up their wealth. In case you have a proper job, say earning say 5 lakhs or 10 lakhs, you're 24 years of age, just calculate the NPV at 8% or just say how much you're earning now multiplied by next 30 years because you're still 24, so next 35 years maybe. So 35 into 10, 3.5 crores is without adjusting it for inflation or taxes, right? So the most important thing is when you do your asset allocation, what people forget is all your assets should be taken into account, including the NPV of your job. If you have a job in say IIT, then that acts like a debt fund because it's very unlikely that you will lose your job, right? But if you are an equity trader in a weak company, every year, every month you keep hearing about stories of how one brokerage closed down, another brokerage closed down. Now these are so small and so below the radar, our media doesn't even know that these things are happening. So you will not hear these stories in the press, but yeah, lots of people do close down, right? So that is, now when you take your asset allocation, you say I have 3.5 crores of debt assets because I am in IIT. Or if you are an equity trader with a small company, you say I have 3.5 crores of equity. So now let me go about balancing. So an equity trader needs to have more money in debt and an IIT professor needs to have much more money in equity. Right? That is how you do asset allocation, because your asset allocation without taking into account the biggest asset, which is the NPV of your future cash flows, is wrong, because it's the only asset you have as of today, and then you have to see how good is it in terms of is it debt or is it equity, right? Depending on the how stable the tenure is, how good the organization is, will the organization itself survive? That also you don't know if it's a small company, right? Even if it's a big company, things could change. But if you assume that on the other side is the government of India, you can make a safe assumption that at least next 25, 30 years, don't expect any great magic to happen because of which they will make changes, right? So that shouldn't, let me just, so your NPV of future earnings, if you don't know how to calculate, learn. I'm not going to tell you how that has to be calculated, but yeah, like I said, approximately your annual income multiplied by the number of years left for you to be in service. You're right, your income will actually keep going up because assuming 5% or an 8% jump in salary, these things could happen, correct? But right now we are ignoring that. In a more detailed mathematical discussion, we will arrive at that, but right now, no, we are not looking at that. So, one more thing, what would you do if you have the biggest asset lying there, which is 3.5 crores, 4 crores? You will put some effort in it, right? So make sure that you have got the best job possible in the best place that you want to work with. Suppose you want to work in the US, after that, where in the US or where in India, or you want to work in Africa, work on that. Second, keep adding value to this number of say 3.5 crores by doing proper training, taking care of your health. If you are not alive, that 3.5 crores won't happen. That is why we take term insurance for 3.5 crores, which is the which is as a human life value, right? So you take all these into account, understand this human life value, the residual value, right? Based on that, you should be allocating your assets. Thank you.